Here's how to register Democrats in California.
In California, you can register Democrats either digitally or with a paper form. Filling out the paper form is crucial, so we'll cover that first. We always recommend you fill out the form for the voter, since you'll be faster and more legible and won't miss anything you need to fill in. Make sure to use a black pen to fill out the form. Always start by asking, are you a citizen? You must be a citizen to register, and if you're not, trying to register can actually derail the whole citizenship process, so it's worth making sure up front. Then ask, will you be at least 18 years old by Election Day? Election Day in this case is the November 8th, 2022 midterm elections. If they're 16 or 17, that's okay too. You can pre-register them, which means that as soon as they turn 18, they'll be able to vote. If someone says they can't vote because they've been convicted of a crime, let them know that as long as they're not currently incarcerated, you can re-register them right now. In California, neither parole nor probation take away your right to vote. Now get their first name, middle name, last name, and ask if there's a suffix such as junior or senior. Birth date is mandatory. Next, ask for their driver's license and the last 4 digits of their social security number. Get both if you can, but if they only have one, that's fine also. Then ask for their state or country of birth. Address must be a physical address in California, not a P.O. box. Don't forget to ask if there's an apartment number. Ask if that's where they get their mail, and if it is, you can skip mailing address. If someone is experiencing homelessness, you can write down the cross streets where they stay, and they'll at least be able to vote a provisional ballot. Registration history is not necessary, so skip it to speed up the process. Ask, can I sign you up to vote by mail? It's super convenient. Voting by mail makes it super easy to vote and dramatically increases voting rates. If they say, I like to go to the polls, tell them they still can and can skip the lines and drop off their ballot. If they insist on not voting by mail, that's fine, but go for a 100% vote by mail score. When you get to party preference, this is the only point in the process where you are not legally allowed to be partisan. You can't say, come on, just be a Democrat, what's wrong with you? But you can state the facts. This is our chance to throw in a little information about the Democratic Party that can be super useful. Let them know that Joe Biden and Kamala Harris are the Democratic president and vice president, and that Donald Trump was the head of the Republican Party. You can tell them Democrats are the one major party fighting for women's rights and civil rights, fighting to expand health care, using science to end COVID, and sending out $1,400 COVID relief checks. If they choose Democrat, thank them from the bottom of your heart, and if you're an extrovert, sing, dance, or cheer. If they say Green or Independent, they're often our political allies, so we continue the process. We need their votes for sure. But make sure you do not check the box for the American Independent Party, a far-right party to the right of the Tea Party. Instead, if someone says they're independent, check the box for I do not want to choose a political party preference. On the off chance they say Republican or Libertarian, remain positive and respectful and hand them the form. Let them know they just have to sign it and mail it in, and they'll be registered. We are legally obligated to give everyone a form. We are not obligated to help them fill it out or mail it in for them, nor should we. Our time is precious, and we need to use every minute of it registering Democrats. Of course, if they say anything other than Republican or Libertarian, we complete the process and hang on to the form ourselves. The truth is, when you're wearing a liberal-looking t-shirt and/or hat and/or pins, they actually give you a force field that keeps Republicans away. Next is email and phone number. Now, this information is optional, but it's really important for Get Out the Vote efforts, so do ask for both. If they'd like to get election info by text, check the next box. If they have a language preference, check that too. Finally, hand them the clipboard and have them check it for accuracy. Have them sign it and date it. Then you sign the form as the person assisting them and date it. Print your name and Field Team 6's address, which you can find right underneath the voter registration form at the bottom of the sign-up sheet. You can skip phone number. Under Organization, put Field Team 6. Then tear off the receipt at the bottom and give it to them. But keep the form yourself. You or your group leader will turn it into the county recorder office. Before they go, ask if we can send them an election reminder, letting them know when and where to vote. If yes, write their name and email on the sign-up sheet on your clipboard. Also, ask if they'd like to volunteer, and mark their answer on your sheet too. Thank them for being a voter, and remind them to please vote for Democrats up and down the ballot in the November 8, 2022 midterms. If there's a Democratic candidate we're defending in this district, get their name out there as many times as you can. If we're trying to boot a Republican, let the voter know that too. And once the primary is over and we have our Democratic candidate, put their name in the air as much as you can. Name recognition is half the battle. Now, put that form at the back of your clipboard and guard it with your life. Great job! If you prefer to register Democrats with your smartphone or tablet, go to Votarizer.org/field. That's our very own partisan voter registration site designed to be the fastest way to register a Democrat. At the bottom, click Volunteers Log In Here and follow the prompts to log in or sign up. This allows you to register multiple people. Once you're in, go back to the top of the page. Pick California as your state and click Get Started. Now you're ready to go into the field and find someone who wants to get registered. When you find that wonderful person, always offer to fill in the information for them. You'll be faster than them because, well, you're on a mission. Reassure them that they'll get a chance to confirm all their information, and at the end, they will click the submit button themselves. Of course, if they insist on using their own phone, that's fine. Offer to walk them through it right now so it gets done. It only takes a couple of minutes, and if we leave it to them, most likely they will not finish the process. It's just human nature. The next question is always, do you have a driver's license? It's necessary to have one in order to complete the online process. If they don't, you'll have to register them with a paper form. If they have a license, the next question is, can I sign you up to vote by mail? It's super convenient. If they say yes, click Register to vote by mail. If they say no for some reason, which should be rare, just click Register to vote. Either one of these buttons takes you directly to the Secretary of State's page, and believe it or not, you're already through the hard part.
Yes!
The rest of the process is pretty straightforward. If they'd like to do this in another language, click the menu button in the upper left of the screen, then click Change Language. Now select one of the following. Most likely you'll select the top one, U.S. citizen and California resident. Then click Next. Make sure they're qualified to vote in California. Verify their age. Get their name, email, phone number, date of birth, and place of birth. Get their driver's license and the last 4 digits of their social security number, if you can. But if they only have one, that's fine. And if they have neither, they can still register, but they should bring proof of residency with them when they vote. Ethnicity and language preference are optional. You can skip these. Get their physical address and confirm that's where they get their mail. Next is party preference. As before on the paper form, we are not legally allowed to be partisan here, but we can give them some super useful facts about the Democratic Party. When you're done here, click Next. Now confirm that they'd like to vote by mail. Ask if they'd like the state to mail them a voter guide before elections. And would they like a county guide? You can skip the poll worker question. If appropriate, ask if they would prefer voting materials in an accessible format. In this section, since you helped fill out this form, enter yes. Then enter your name and Field Team 6's address. You can skip your phone number. Enter Field Team 6 under Organization. Ask if they consent to use their DMV signature to register to vote. They must agree to this to register online. Confirm that these statements are all true and click Next. Now you can review all the information you've entered. At this point, show them your phone and have them make sure everything is accurate. If anything needs to be corrected, click Edit at the bottom of the screen. Once everything looks good, ask them to click the Submit button. If you see this page next, it means you have successfully registered someone to vote in California. At the bottom of the page, you can select one of the options to send them a receipt. Now close the Secretary of State's page, which should take you back to Votarizer. Scroll down and quickly ask if we can send them an election reminder letting them know when and where to vote. If yes, enter their email and name. And ask them if they'd like to volunteer with us too. There's lots of ways they can help. Thank them for being a voter and remind them to vote for Democrats up and down the ballot. After they've gone, one last step. On Votarizer, under How to Go, be sure to check the I registered to vote or the I registered to vote by mail button and hit Submit so we at Field Team 6 know that a person was registered. Then scroll down and click the Start Again button, and you're back in business. Congratulations! You just added another California Democrat to the voter rolls, bringing us one step closer to victory. This is how we win. Got questions?
Find all the materials you need at our Voter Drive in a Box link at fieldteam6.org. Look under Resources.